Hi, grade 4. Today you're going to be learning about mixed numbers when it comes to fractions. So we're going to go over some vocabulary again for fractions. Today we have two new words. So we have fraction, which is names a part of a whole. 8/4 is a fraction. Numerator is the top number of a fraction. It tells how many parts in a whole are being considered. So 8 and 8/4 is the numerator. The denominator is the bottom number of a fraction. It tells the total number of equal parts in a whole. So 4 and 8/4 is the denominator. Then we have improper fraction. That's a fraction whose numerator is greater than its denominator. So 8/4 is an improper fraction. Then we have mixed number. It's a whole number and a fraction together to make one number. So 2 and 3/4, 3/4 is a mixed number. So we're going to be learning about mixed number with pictures first. So we're going to look here at the yellow parts of the sun. So we have to figure out what our fraction should be for this. We're going to make an improper fraction first. So that's when our numerator is greater than our denominator. So look here, how many parts are in one sun? In one sun, how many parts of a whole are there? There's 4, so 4 would be our denominator. Now, how many parts of the suns are yellow? Count that up for a second. There'd be 21. So it'd be 21/4. That is our improper fraction. And we want to make our improper fraction into a mixed number. So in order to do that, we first have to see how many wholes. So how many of these suns are completely colored in? So there's 5 wholes. Then we have to look at how many parts are in one sun. So are in one sun in total. There are 4 parts in one sun. Not how many are colored in, just how many parts are there in total. So there's 4. Then how many parts are yellow? So how many parts are left over now that are yellow? So the 5 wholes are now orange, so we don't look at those. We have to look for the yellow. So there's 1 part that is left over that is yellow. So we're going to make our mixed number. So our mixed number, we have 5 wholes, so 5 is the number that goes at the beginning by itself. And we have 4 parts in total, so that's our denominator, and 1 part that is yellow, which is our numerator. So it'd be 5 and 1/4. So if we have 5 wholes and 1/4 left over. So 21/4 is equal to 5 and 1/4. So now we're going to learn how to calculate the mixed fractions from improper fractions because we can't always make pictures for them. It would take us a long time. So we have 23/4. So our very first step would be divide the numerator by the denominator. So our numerator is 23, our denominator is 4. So we do 23 divided by 4. So let's go through that with long division. 4 goes into 2 how many times? 0. So we're going to look at 23. 4 goes into 23 how many times? Go through your 4 times tables. We have 4 times 1, which is 4. 4 times 2, which is 8. 4 times 3, which is 12. 4 times 4, which is 16. 4 times 5, which is 20. And 4 times 6, which is 24. Oh, stop for a second. 24 is too big, so that means we have to go back to 4 times 5, which is equal to 20. So we put a 5 above the 3, and we put 20 underneath 23, and we subtract them. So 23 minus 20 is equal to 3. So what do we do with this 3? Can 4 go into 3? Nope. So what happens with the 3? It becomes our remainder. So now we go on to step number 2. So we have to write the remainder in step number 1 as a fraction. So in order to do that, we know that our denominator is 4. So 4 goes at the bottom, and our remainder would become the numerator, which is the top number. So 3/4 would be our fraction. Then we have step number 3. We have to create the mixed fraction using the whole number from step number 1 and the fraction from step number 2. So 5 is our whole number, and 3/4 is our fraction. So we take our fraction, 3/4, put the 5 in front of it. So that means our mixed fraction is 5 and 3/4. Now to make sure that we're correct, we have to do multiplication. So this number is basically saying there's 5 whole groups of 4, and then there was 3 things left over. So we're going to do 5 times 4 plus 3. So first, in our order of operations, we do multiplication. So 5 times 4 is equal to 20, plus 3 is equal to 23. So 23 is the same as what our numerator was in the improper fraction. So that means that our mixed fraction of 23 over 4 is 5 3/4, because we have 5 groups of 4 plus 3 left over. So we're going to do one more together. So we have 36 over 8. So looking at this, we divide the numerator by the denominator. It's the very first step. So we do 36 divided by 8. So 8 goes into 3 how many times? 0. 8 goes into 36 how many times? Go through your 8 times tables. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. But 40 is too big, so it means we have to go down 1. So it would be 4. 4 times 8 is equal to 32. So we subtract that from 36. 6 minus 2 is 4. 3 minus 3 is 0, so it'd be 4. Can 8 go into 4? No. So what happens to our 4? It becomes the remainder. So our answer is 4 remainder 4. So now we have to write the remainder as a fraction. So remember we said that their denominator from the very first improper fraction is the same as our denominator in this question, and then our remainder becomes the numerator. So 4 over 8, and we have to simplify if it's needed. So 4 over 8 can be put into smaller terms. You can make it into a simpler fraction. So in order to do that, we have to divide 4 and 8 by 4. They can both be divided by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 2, and 8 is 1, sorry, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. So that means our fraction becomes 1 over 2. So then we have to create the mixed fraction using a whole number from step 1 and fraction from step 2. So we have to use our whole number and our fractions. Our fractions 1 over 2. We take our whole number, which is 4. So 4 and 1 over 2. So the mixed fraction of 36 over 8 is 4 and 1 over 2. So there's 4 groups of the whole number and then adding in the numerator after. All right, grade 4, hopefully you guys understood that. If you guys need any help, you can always get a hold of me. Otherwise, you can look at page 260 of your textbooks. All right, goodbye, grade 4.